Here's Partial Proyect, Statistics and Probability 2023. Well, in my script data, I used goals scored by Necaxa in 2022 in 17 matches. In my case, I have the state of Aguascalientes, so Necaxa is from Aguascalientes, so I use this. Then I have these 17 values and the other that are from the other time of period of the year, and at the same there are 17, and all of these are raw data because it's not organized data. Then to organize data, we use two different forms. We can use a frequency table or a frequency graph. Well, in this table, I put the values that the only values that are there, because see, we only have 0, 1, 2, and 3. 0, 1, 2, and 3. Then in the frequency, I put the times that that value repeats, and the same in the other graph, 2022 and 2023. Then, then we need to calculate the mean. Mean is the sum of all data points over the number of data points. To calculate the mean of the first time period, 2022, we need to sum all the data points that are these, and the addition of all of these give us 19, and the number is 17 because we're only taking account 17 matches of that year. So it's 19 over 17 equals 1.11. Then the same, the other time period, 2023, the summation of all these values is 16 over the number that is 17 that give us 0.94. Then the media, this is the formula for the media, but this formula don't give us the value. This formula only gives us the position where is the value of the media. So is the number plus 1 and the result of that over 2. So it's kind of this. And as we have the same number for both data, so we only need to calculate this once. So it's 17 plus 1, that gave us 18 over 2, and that gives us that the media is in the position 9. So we organize the data from smaller to larger, biggest. And we got it like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here's our media, and the same the 2023. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here's our media. Then our frequency graph. This is a column graph. It's kind of a histogram, but they have a gap between the values. So in here we can see that the most is 1 because it's the biggest and the most frequency. Then the mean we know it is 1.11 and the media is 1. And in the 2023 we can see that that is the same most, 1. The media is 1 and the mean we know is 0.94. Well, we can sort the difference between between both charts. In the last year, 2022, you can see that the team scored more than one goal in their matches, but at the same time there were matches in where they didn't score. Well, in 2023, they scored less than 2 goals, but they were there was less matches without ball. So in my opinion, it was a big change for good. Then for my continuous data, I use the luminosity daily of the moon in the month of January of 2022 in 30 days because was the days of that month. Here are 31 values, raw data because as I say, it's not organized. And same 2023, 31 and raw data because it's not organized. Then these two we know it, but these three I will explain it in a moment. So in here I don't put the value as the last one because it will be um, difficult and so unnecessary because I can separate all the data by groups. I separated by group of 10 to be more specific and clear with my values. With the exactly the same, we saw how much values are between 0 and 10 and we put it in here in focus. Then to have the mean it's like the same formula but change a little bit. Is the summation of the multiplication of fi times xi. But as we can see, we don't have a specific value in xi, so we use a midpoint. This midpoint is as the same, the name sign is a point in the middle between the first value and the last value. So for example, is my first value is 0 and my last value is 10. So the midpoint of 0 and 10 is 5. The midpoint of 10 and 20 is 15, and like this. This is like a tendency. If you got two of these, the other values will appear. So we multiply 7 times 5 and give us 35. 2 times 15 gives 30, and like this, all of this. And then we add all of these. Then we all of these values, and the addition of all these values gave me 1,645, and we need to divide it by the number. And in this case, our number is 31 because are the number of days that we are taking account. So it's 1,645 over 31 equals 53.06, and if we round it, we will have 53.1, and the same with the mean of the time period 2023. The adding of the summation of all of these values give me 1,775 over 31. That gives me 57.25. That rounded gives me 57.3. Then the media is the same formula. The number times 1 over 2. Our number is 31 plus 1 give us 32 over 2 gives 16. So the media is in the value in the position 16. And for this, we don't need to organize all these numbers into biggest, into smaller to biggest. We only need the chart. And we need to put this, the CF, that is, in this group, I have 5, and in this group, I have 7 because it's 5 times 2 7, 7 times 2, 9, and like this. And in here we need to search the 16. And in the time period 2022 is easier to find because it's here there 16, and we use the midpoint as our value. But in here we have our first notable change, that is the media, because it's no it's not there the 16, but we can deduce that this here between the 15 and 17, so it's here. And we use the midpoint, that is 65, so this is our first change between both time periods. Then the graphs. In here we know the media is 53.1, the mean, we know the mean that is 53.1, the media 55, and the mode that is between 0 and 10. More than 0 but less than 10 here. And our mean of the time period 2023, 57.3, media 75, and mode between 90 and 10, more than 90, less than 100. And is there is a big change between modes because in 2022 the mode is like between 5, and in 2023 the mode is between 95. So we can see that the moon was shinier than more shiny than the last year in this year, but at the same time it was kind of darkest that that normal period because uh, it was shining in like in 6 days, but in 5 days there was zero shine. And that's it. My references are there. I got the first information of time discrete data from Liga MX, and my values of the continuous data I got it for weather spark. Thank you.